up into the mountains for another hike. Today, the weather is wonderful. I was here last weekend and the weather was questionable with low-lying clouds and a bit of mist. But this looks really nice and should make for a wonderful day. We may see that parking lot again soon on our hike. I'm here again in the San Gabriel Mountains, walking on a trail called Telephone Trail. Why it's called that, I have no idea. I have not seen any telephones. But what it does do is it leads us up to the Hoyt Peak, which you see in front of us. This will be a lovely view from up there on a nice sunny day like it is today. And we should have gorgeous views of all the mountains around us. So I parked at a little spot on the side of the road called the Pines on the map. And I'm following this trail along here. Springtime is such a nice time for hiking in these mountains. It's not too hot yet. The seasonal streams are flowing and the wildflowers are out in abundance. From the parking area, the trail's been dropping down steadily to this creek, and from here it will rise and rise until we get to the peak, I think. Aha. Well, we've come to the point where we can see the saddle. I guess that's where this trail ends or meets up with another trail. So we'll take a sharp left there and go up to the peak. Up there where those power lines are going through the pass, that's our saddle. From there we'll go up, up, and up, up, up. Turning out to be a really lovely day. I've seen nobody on this trail at all. It's been all mine, which I really enjoy. We've made it to the saddle. We should have a nice view looking over the ridge the other way. Where we've come is a lovely view. The hike coming up wasn't too bad. It was a lot of shade and it never got really very steep at all. But now we're going to go up this ridge and it looks like it's going to get a lot steeper. Where I came up, where I'm going. Wow, we did it. We're finally here. Wow, that's amazing. Look at that view. Look at that view. Look at that. Wait a minute. Yoink. All right, not quite there yet. Well, since we reached the saddle, it's been a lot steeper and a lot more interesting. We're gonna continue going up this ridge. The top's up there somewhere, and we're gonna find it. As we go up this ridge, there's a series of false summits that I know is not the summit because we have a map, but still, it makes you think you might be getting close. Well, I think I'm through the worst of it. It's a crazy good view up here, and it looks like it's flattening out until I get to the actual summit. It's been interesting. Well, I think that's the actual summit. Nearly there. We're almost to the peak. The trail's gotten very accommodating. And the weather appears lovely. There's hardly any wind. It's sunny and still. Very peaceful. This seems to be the top. We'll be going down that way. And the car's well beyond that along the Angeles Forest Highway. My oh my, what is that? Is it a fire hose? I think that's a fire hose. Wow. Maybe left over from the 2018 fire that ravaged this area. Huh. As you can see, the top of the peak has a nice big flat spot. It's not a rocky crag like a lot of peaks are. Well, made it to the top. It's beautiful up here, and surprisingly there's no people at all. It's very nice. I thought there might be a couple from the parking lot on the way we're gonna go out, but I have it all to myself. It's not as dramatic as I thought. A lot more lush and green, a big flat area. It's 4,416 feet and very pleasant today. Well, since we came over the top, we've just kind of been clunking through the brush on little game trails that don't really seem like any kind of main trail. And all of a sudden I see a rock cairn down there. Thank you, rock cairn. Off in the distance is Strawberry Peak, right there. We did that a few weeks ago. It was lovely, although the weather wasn't as nice as today. And there were a lot more people. Where we were and where we're going. That's a good sign. Well, we're almost to Clear Creek Vista, which is right along the Angeles Crest Highway. We passed it on the way in. From there, there's a trail that will zigzag down back to that creek we crossed at the beginning of our hike, and then back up to our car, which is way over there in that parking lot, if you can see it. It gets a little noisy here with all the bikes and flashy cars zooming up and down the road. We got the Angeles Crest Highway here, and then over here we got the Angeles Forest Highway. And they meet here and make a great place for you to ride your motorbike all day long. Hey. Well, we're almost to the Vista point, right along the highway, and it's fairly noisy. First national forest in the state. Nice. And while the car is way over here, we're gonna take the George's Gap Trail all the way back there. Please. No fireworks. The trail down's been lovely. Mostly shade, nice flat surfaces, not a bunch of fist-sized rocks. Zigzagging down the hill very comfortably. Well, we're back at the car. Really nice hike. Weather was just couldn't be better. The hike took 4 hours and 16 minutes. We had an elevation gain of 1,635 feet, and it was 5.88 miles. It was not too exhausting, but nice to have all that solitude to myself. Anyways, thanks for joining me on the hike. Hope you come again.